Everyone, in our previous lecture we had discussed about capacity to contract, and moving ahead of that series of contract act, today I'm going to discuss about free consent. What is free consent? Who would be included under free consent? As we know, section 10 talks about all agreements or contract if they are made by the free consent of the competing parties. Now today's lecture is discussed about what is free consent. Section 13 talks about two persons are said to consent in the same sense in the same thing. Now here it is talking about consensus ad idem. That means two persons are meeting of the same thing. They are having the same sense upon which they want to make an agreement. Now the question arises, what is free consent? Then section 14 here comes about. Section 14 talks about all agreements if they are not made by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation or mistake, then it is free consent. If among any one of them is in your agreement, then it is not a free consent. Now going ahead, we are talking just only about section 15, which talks about coercion. Coercion is the committing or threatening to commit any act forbidden by Indian Penal Code or detaining or threatening to detain any property and forming an agreement. Now let us see in detail what these two lines talks about section 15, which is coercion according to your Indian law. Coercion, it talks about any act. According to IPC, act includes your illegal omission also. Series of acts or series of illegal omission, which is defined under section 33 of IPC. Now, it just talks about only those acts which has been forbidden by Indian Penal Code or detaining or threatening to detain any property. Now, let me discuss this in detail. Suppose if I am detaining someone, obviously, if I am detaining someone, it would be an illegal act because I'm not having that power to detain someone. It's an illegal detention of someone. If it is just till that, it is an offense. But if one-sided, I am detaining someone, and on the other hand, I need to make an agreement with that person, only then it is coercion. If I just wanted to detain and I don't want to go for any agreement, in that case, it cannot be a coercion. It's just a criminal offense. But by detaining, you wanted that person to come into an agreement with you, then it is your coercion. In English term, it is called as duress. But in English, it is just only for body. It doesn't talks about your property. Now, if you go through section 15, it just talks about what is coercion, but it is not talking about what would be the agreement be. Would that be valid or void or voidable, whatever it is. But it is not talking about in that section. For that, you have to go to section 19, which talks about if an agreement is formed by coercion, then it is voidable at the option of the other party. Now the question arises, which party? At that party who is giving the consent under coercion. According to 13th report by the Law Commission, it is suggested by them that it should be including other acts also. As section 15 is just specified only for your Indian Penal Code, no other laws, no other acts are included. By the 13th report, they are just suggesting that they should include other acts also, but still up to now, no amendments has been made out. Now, in totality, coming about the coercion. Coercion is just not a free consent. If there is a coercion in your agreement, it is not a valid agreement. It would be a voidable agreement. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.